this session of Tech Guide VB. I am your host and you are watching Tech Guide VB YouTube channel. Now, from today onwards, we will start our new series that is called Data Mining Concepts and Techniques. So, here is the part 1 of this new series. So, let's get started. So before going to start the data mining, we will see what are the data warehousing and OLAP technology, that is an overview. So in this session, that is data warehousing and OLAP technology, we will see the four parts, that is what is a data warehouse, a multidimensional data model, data warehouse architecture, from data warehousing to data mining. That four parts we will see in detail. So let's start the first part, that is what is a data warehouse. Because before going to start the concept of data mining, we need to understand the concept of data warehouse. So what is exactly a data warehouse? It is defined in many different ways. So we will see one by one. A decision support database that is maintained separately from the organization's operational database. So the data warehouse is the, we can say, the separate entity which is maintained. So support information processing by providing a solid platform of consolidated historical data for analysis. So what happens? The huge amount of data is generated day by day by any organization by the users. But what is important? To analyze that data. So for analyzing that data, we need to process the information on a different platforms, and we are getting the analysis on the basis of the historical data. So we can define the data warehouse as a data warehouse is a subject oriented, integrated, time variant and non-volatile collection of data in support of management's decision making process. So what is exactly a data warehouse? That we will see. So it is a subject oriented, integrated, time variant and non-volatile collection of data to support the decision making process. It is given by WH Inman. So these four terms are very important, that is subject oriented, integrated, time variant and non volatile collection of data. So these four terms we will see in next slides. So data warehousing, the process of constructing and using data warehouses. So now we will see these four terms in detail. So we will start with the data warehouse, that is the subject oriented term. Organized around many subjects such as customer, product, sales. So the data warehouse is organized around the major subjects like customer, products or sales for any organization, focusing on the modeling and analysis of data for decision makers, not on daily operations or transaction processing. So subject oriented focuses on the modeling and analyzing of data for decision makers, not on daily basis but also a transaction processing. So they provide a simple and concise view around particular subject, issuing issues by excluding data that are not useful in the decision support process. So they provide the simple and concise view around the particular subject is very important. Next, so integrated. What is the integrated term in the data warehouse? So constructed by integrating multiple heterogeneous data sources. So integration means from the multiple sources or the heterogeneous data sources, we can construct our model. So relational databases, flat files, online transaction records, these are some of the heterogeneous data sources. Data cleaning and data integration techniques are applied. So for integration purpose, we have to apply data cleaning and data integration techniques. Ensure the consistency in naming conventions, encoding structures, attribute measures, etc. among different data sources. For example, hotel price, currency, tax, breakfast covered, etc. So the hotel price is we are going to cover by its currency, tax, breakfast covered, etc. So when data is moved to the warehouse, it is converted because the raw data is there. So if you want to construct a data warehouse, so we have to convert that data into an integrated manner. So next we will see the time variant concept in the data warehouse. The time horizon for the data warehouse is significantly longer than that of the operational systems. The time variant is very important concept in data warehouse where it is a significantly longer than the operational systems. The operational database current value data and the data warehouse data provide information from a historical perspective, that is past 5 to 10 years. So for the data warehouse, we need to have the historical data, that is of the 5 to 10 years. And in the operational database, that is we can say the traditional database, there is only a current value data. So this is the difference in operational database and data warehouse data. So every key structure in the data warehouse contains an element of time explicitly or implicitly, but the key of the operational data may or may not contain time element. So the traditional data and the here data warehouse data, that that is differentiated on the basis of time here. So in the data warehouse, the element of time is the main constraint because we are dealing with the historical data, and in the operational data there may be or may not be a time element. So this is the time variant concept in data warehouse. The non-volatile, a physically separate store of data transformed from the operational environment. The non-volatile means the physically separate store of the data, means it does not integrate or it does not overlap with the other data sources. The operational update of the data does not occur in the data warehouse environment, does not require transaction processing, recovery, and concurrency control mechanisms, require only two operations in data accessing: initial loading of data and access of the data. So it has a two operations in data accessing, that is initial loading of the data and then the access of the data. Because the non-volatile concept is the physically separate store of the data. So next, data warehouse versus heterogeneous DBMS. The traditional heterogeneous database integration means what? A query driven approach is there. Query, you all know there is a the queries which we are using in the any database management systems, like the select, update, insert, delete queries. So there is a query driven approach. Build wrappers or mediators on the top of the heterogeneous database. When a query is posed to a client side, A meta dictionary is used to translate the query into the queries appropriate for individual heterogeneous sites involved, and the results are integrated into a global answer set. A complex information filtering compete for resources. So this is the traditional heterogeneous database integration, that is the building a wrappers or mediators on the top of the heterogeneous databases. So that in data warehouse there is a update driven high performance approach. In traditional databases there is a query driven approach, and in the data warehouse there is a update driven approach. So information from the heterogeneous sources is integrated in advance and stored in warehouse for direct query and analysis. So this is the data warehouses versus heterogeneous DBMS. So you need to understand the two concepts, that is the query driven approach and update driven approach. That is in traditional heterogeneous database systems and in data warehouses respectively. So next, data warehouses versus operational DBMS systems. OLTP, online transaction processing, means what? A major task of traditional relational database. Day-to-day operations, that is purchasing, inventory, banking, manufacturing, payroll, registration, accounting, etc. is done in the online transaction processing, that is OLTP. So the day-to-day operations are covered in the OLTP. OLAP means what? The online analytical processing. So major task of the data warehouse system: data analysis and decision making. So OLTP deals with the traditional relational databases processing, and the OLAP is deals with the data warehouse systems, that is data analysis and decision making. So this is the difference between OLTP and OLAP. Distinct features: OLTP versus OLAP. User and system orientation. The OLTP covers the customer point of view and the OLAP covers the market point of view. That this is the distinct feature. Then the data contents. In OLTP, it has a current and detailed data, and in OLAP, there is a historical and consolidated data because it deals with the data warehouse. So, if we consider the database design, there is a ER and application model in the OLTP, and there is a star plus subject oriented schema in the OLAP, which is deals with the data warehouse. If you consider the view factor, then there is a current and local view in the OLTP, that is the traditional relational database, and there is evolutionary and integrated view in the OLAP, that is in the data warehouse system. If we consider the access patterns factor, there is a update factor or pattern in the OLTP, that is in the relational databases, and the read only but complex queries in the OLAP, that is in the data warehouse systems. So these are the distinct features of the OLTP versus OLAP. These features are user and system orientation, data contents, database design, view, and access pattern. These are the distinct features in OLTP versus OLAP. So here is the table of the differentiation of OLTP and OLAP. That is, here we are differentiating the OLTP and OLAP with respect to users, functions, database design, data usage, access, unit of work, records access, users, DB size, that is database size, and metric. on the basis of these factors, we are going to differentiate OLTP and OLAP. So if we consider the first factor, users, in OLTP there are clerk, IT professionals as a user, and in OLAP there are knowledge worker. In OLTP, if you consider the function factor, so day-to-day operations are there, and in OLAP the decision support is there. In database design, in OLTP there is a application oriented database design, and in OLAP there is a subject oriented database design. If we consider the data as a factor, then there is a current, up-to-date, detailed, flat relational isolated data in OLTP, and in OLAP there is a historical, summarized, multidimensional, integrated, consolidated data. Next, if we consider the usage factor, then there is a repetitive usage in OLTP, and there is a ad hoc usage in OLAP systems. So next, if you consider the access factor, then there is a read, write, index, hash, or prime key on prime key factor, that is access factor in OLTP, and there are lots of scans access in OLAP. If you consider the unit of work, in OLTP there is a short, simple transaction unit of work, and in OLAP there is a complex query unit of work. If we consider the records access, in OLTP there is a tens of OLTP records access, and in OLAP there are millions of records access. So this is the major differentiation. If we consider the users, there are thousands of users in OLTP and there are hundreds of users in OLAP. If we consider the database size, in OLTP there is a 100 MB to few GB database size we can process in OLTP, and in OLAP there are 100 GB to few TB of size database size we can process. If you consider the next factor as a metric, so transaction throughput, and there is OLAP metrics, there is a transaction throughput factor in OLTP, and if we consider the metric in OLAP, there is a query throughput or response. So here is the summarization of OLTP and OLAP on the basis of different factors from users to metrics. So next, why separate data warehouse we are going to need? So high performance for both the systems, that is DBMS. For the performance point of view, we need to have the separate data warehouse. So in DBMS, it tuned for the OLTP, that is access methods, indexing, concurrency control, and recovery. That is the traditional approach. And in warehouse, it is tuned for the OLAP, that is complex OLAP queries, multidimensional view, and consolidation. For the high performance point of view, we need to have the data warehouse, different functions and different data. So missing data, if there is a missing data, we cannot process that data in the simple database management system, but it is possible in data warehouse to process the missing data. That is, decision support requires historical data which operational databases do not typically maintain. So this missing data can be covered in the data warehouses. Data consolidation, the database system requires consolidation, that is aggregation, summarization of the data from heterogeneous sources. So data quality, different sources typically use inconsistent data representation codes and formats in which we have to be reconciled. So data quality missing data and the data consolidation. These are the different functions which we are going to use in data warehouses, and we need to have the high performance systems because it is not possible in the traditional database approach or traditional management database management system. So there is a note, there are more and more systems which perform OLAP analysis directly on relational databases. So this is the note given by for the purpose of separate data warehouse. So this is all about the part 1 of the data mining concepts and techniques, which is mostly deal with the data warehousing overview. So thank you for watching, and keep learning and spreading your knowledge. Thank you.